Poverty is not only about money. Poverty is a posture. How you carry yourself when options are thin. How you speak when a room is bigger than you. How you set terms when you want the deal more than the other side does. Machiavelli would tell you that acting poor invites handling. If you move like a beggar, you get beggar's terms. Rushed timelines, crowded calendars, unpriced extras, and no respect at the exit. Acting rich is not about pretending wealth. It is about ruling your small territory with order, even when the territory is a single room and a prepaid phone. Today we build that order. Reply windows, one-pass resets, price discipline, protective access, and clean exits. Acting poor looks like chasing messages, explaining yourself in long paragraphs, accepting any time someone offers, emailing drafts at midnight, saying yes to quick calls that are never quick, and apologizing for rules you need to do your job. Acting rich is the opposite. It is quiet and structured. You move on a schedule. You do not rush because someone is loud. You do not discount because someone is charming. You do not open your calendar because someone is bored. You lead with outcomes, not recipes, and you demonstrate that your time has value even when your bank account is low. When you hold form under pressure, people start paying for the form. Machiavelli said, "It is much safer to be feared than loved if one must choose between them." In modern work, that line translates into predictable consequences, not theatrics. If people know you will pause work for late payment, they do not pay late. If they know you won't answer outside your reply window, they stop midnight tests. If they know scope creep moves to a priced second block, they think before they ask. Your aim is not to be feared as a person, but to be respected as a system. Put the system on display and keep it steady. Start with reply windows. Acting poor means being on call for free. Acting rich means your day has gates. Choose when you respond and keep it. Maybe it's noon and 4, maybe it's 9 to 6, maybe it's every other hour. Name it once in onboarding and then enforce it with behavior, not speeches. When a message arrives at 11:58 p.m., it gets handled at noon tomorrow. When someone demands, "Can you hop on now?" they receive a calendar link. This trains your circle to respect the rhythm that makes your work good. Your speed is not a vending machine. Your speed is a product you protect. Now, the one-pass reset. People who act poor fix things in drips. New rate here, tiny boundary there, a half apology everywhere. The room learns to wait them out. A Machiavellian move is cleaner. When your rules are outdated, you cut once and exactly. You announce the new schedule, new price, new revision policy, and new handoff process in one message. Then you stop explaining and you start executing. Those who value your work will adapt. Those who are buying your access, not your results, will fade. Either way, you gain time, and time is the currency that builds the next result. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I move with structure even when funds are thin. Let's talk pricing behavior. Acting poor is negotiating against yourself before anyone speaks, stuffing extras into the included box, and over-reporting your effort so people feel sorry and pay. Acting rich is simple and short. You set a number that protects your margin. You state what is included. You state what is not included. When new asks arrive, you redirect to a second block at a later date and a higher price. You do not perform pain to get paid. You present terms to get paid. If someone says, "But it's just a quick tweak," you answer, "That goes in the next block." If they say, "We can't afford that," you answer, "I understand. We can pause and revisit when budget opens." The person who can walk away is never poor for long. Protecting access is part of pricing. Many people think a lower price should buy unlimited access. That is how you burn out. You can offer an entry package with slower replies and fewer calls. You can offer a premium package with faster replies and a monthly live session. Both serve different markets, and both protect your calendar. When you sell time like tap water, people drink without thinking. When you sell time like a bottled good with a label and a cap, people sip and plan. Create your labels. Keep the caps on. Machiavelli wrote, "Nothing makes a prince so much esteemed as great enterprises and setting a fine example. Your great enterprise is finishing what you promised on the date you named, even when your situation is small and difficult." People remember the person who delivers over the person who performs. You set the example by shipping on schedule, not by staying online all night. You earn esteem by documenting your agreements, holding your frame, and leaving a clean trail. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next. That trail is what powerful clients buy repeatedly. Clean exits keep you from acting poor after delivery. The poor posture begs for one more chance, one more tweak, one more call. The rich posture closes the loop. You write, "We agreed on A, B, C. Delivered A, B, C. Files are here. Ownership moves to you. Any new work goes in a separate scope." That single paragraph prevents unpaid reopenings and keeps your inbox light. If someone pushes, you resend the exit and offer the next block. Corrections beat apologies. You are not cruel. You are complete. Acting rich when you have little also means prioritizing proof over performance. Post less about grind. Show more receipts on a schedule. Shipped work. Signed handoffs. On-time outcomes. People who want to handle you will say they need to feel your hustle. People who are serious will ask for what you shipped, where it lives, and the result produced. Choose to serve the second group. Your image becomes strong when your record is clean. A small portfolio with dates and outcomes beats a loud feed with no finish lines. Leave this affirmation below. Calm voice, hard terms, payment before access. Your relationships change when you hold this line. Friends who treated your calendar like endless help will meet a polite gate. Colleagues who DM at any hour will see the reply window and adapt. Cheap clients will bounce. Serious clients will step closer. This feels harsh for a month and liberating for a year. Machiavelli saw that a ruler who tries to please every faction pleases none and looks weak to all. Do not become a public utility for people who prize their chaos. Become a clear channel for people who plan. There will be days when your account is low and fear tells you to break your own rules. Resist that reflex. When you price in panic, you attract the kind of work that keeps you poor. Frantic, scopeless, unpaid. When you hold form, you attract the kind of work that lets you climb. Scoped, scheduled, respected. The first dollars you turn down are the tuition you pay for a better tier. It is hard. It is also the turn. If you must make a temporary exception, do it like a ruler making a treaty. Write it down with start and end, rate and scope, and a line that says the exception does not change policy. Then return to the policy. Exceptions without documents become your new normal. Exceptions with documents stay rare. Acting rich is the discipline to keep rare things rare. Protect the room you work in. A poor posture lets every voice in. A rich posture curates the noise. Mute channels that do not pay you in money or learning. Turn off notifications while you build. Use one inbox for clients and one for everything else. Put a weekly review on the calendar to reset, reprice, and resequence. The world will try to pull you into a permanent reaction. Your system pulls you back to creation. Do not wait for wealth to build this system. Build it to earn wealth. Acting poor is a habit that leaks from your calendar into your voice, your proposals, your inbox, and even your posture on camera. The world reads these leaks as signals and prices you accordingly. You don't fix that with fake flexing. You fix it with protocol, calm rules, clean language, ordered time, and documented exits. When you hold protocol, you look like someone who runs a small state, not a scattered life. That is the point. You are building the state first. The surplus comes later. Start with appearances, because humans buy with their eyes before they read your scope. Acting poor tries to convince. Acting rich demonstrates. You don't promise you'll be professional. You arrive like you already are. Your file names are clean. Your deliverables live in one folder with dates. Your video frame is steady. Your mic is quiet. Your background is simple. You speak in outcomes and timestamps, not in emotions. People feel safer paying a person who looks finished, even if that person is working from a tiny room. Safety is the product. Machiavelli warned that fortune shifts and the winners are those who can adapt without losing their core. He wrote, "I hold it to be true that fortune is the arbiter of half our actions, but that she still leaves us to direct the other half." Adaptation here means you edit tone and tempo for the room while keeping your structure intact. If a client is fast, you mirror speed inside your reply window. If a partner is slow, you don't fill the silence with free work. You advance what is in scope and document the weights. You bend the style, not the frame. Reply windows are the daily proof that you are not acting poor. People who act poor reply instantly to look valuable. People who act rich reply on schedule to stay valuable. Choose 2 or 3 windows. When pings arrive outside them, you don't justify. You process later. If something strategic appears, you can choose an exception, but you write it down. Handled off cycle today, standard window resumes tomorrow. This note keeps the exception from becoming the rule. It also shows the other side that speed is a resource you allocate, not a right they can demand. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I answer with cadence, not panic. Pricing is the other proof. If you underprice to win the work, you teach the buyer to expect more discounts and more access. That is acting poor. Acting rich means your number reflects the cost of reliable outcomes. You include only the core in the base price. Everything else routes to a second block with a later date and a higher rate. You don't argue. You don't sell pain. You say, that goes in the next block. Here's the estimate. If budget is tight, you reduce scope, not price. People respect the person who removes features before removing dignity. You also protect access like inventory. Unlimited calls, unlimited DMs, unlimited screen shares are not generosity. They are the death of quality. Tie access to tiers. Entry tier, slower replies, async reviews, 1 live call per month. Premium tier, faster replies, 1 weekly call, limited off-hours escalation. When someone tries to hijack access from entry to premium, you route them. Happy to do that on the premium tier. Calm voice, hard terms. If they push, you repeat, not explain. Explanations invite debates. Repetition closes them. Machiavelli said rulers are respected when they choose sides openly. A prince is also respected when he is either a true friend or a downright enemy. In your life, that means clarity about who is inside your full access circle and who is not. You don't keep every relationship in a soft middle. You decide full access, inner team, key clients, limited access, regular clients, partners, and no access, cold pitches, chaos agents. You act accordingly. People feel the firmness and recalibrate their asks instead of trying to sneak around your gate. One pass reset is your tool when drift has stacked up. Maybe you've allowed weekend replies, extra revisions, and late invoices. Acting poor would try to fix each one with a soft message. Acting rich does one decisive reset. New hours, new revision limits, new late fee policy, effective date, and where to find them. Then you enforce. There will be noise for a week, Then there will be order for a year. Order compounds. It attracts the right people and filters out the rest without drama. Corrections beat apologies, especially on small breaches that become big leaks. We're over time. Next call stays inside 30 minutes. This request is out of scope. Moving it to the second block. Invoice is past due. Work pauses until payment clears. You can say this with warmth and still be exact. People do not remember your nice paragraph. They remember your consistent boundary. After 2 or 3 cycles, they stop testing because the test never pays. Leave this affirmation below. Calm voice, firm terms, paid scope. Clean exits are how you end strong instead of begging for scraps. At delivery, you state what shipped, where it lives, and who owns next. You remove ambiguity like a surgeon. If they return later with one small change, you point to the exit note. If they claim they assumed unlimited fixes, you point to the scope. If they go quiet after delivery, you don't chase for validation. You send one follow-up with the archive path and move on. Scarcity is the reward for people who act rich. Your calendar fills with work that fits, not noise that flatters. Write like a ruler. Your emails should read like small contracts, short, dated, and referenced. Use headers like scope, timeline, handoff, next block, so no one can pretend they missed the point. End threads with one-line decisions. We're proceeding with option B on the Wednesday schedule. When conflicts arise, step out of feelings to facts within 2 sentences. Feelings deserve a sentence. The map deserves the paragraph. This makes you look stable in rooms full of adrenaline. Stability is rare. Rare gets paid. On camera or in a room, keep your face calm and your terms exact. People trust the person who can say no without a tremor. Don't rush words. Don't fill silence. Don't defend decisions with a biography. If asked why, tie every answer to protection of results. This keeps delivery on schedule. This protects quality. This preserves attention for design. When you frame every rule as service to outcomes, your rules get accepted faster, even by people who dislike rules. Treat your schedule like a ledger, not a mood. Reserve blocks for building and blocks for response. Schedule pricing reviews every quarter. Schedule exit audits at the end of each engagement to update your templates. Acting poor treats time as an accident. Acting rich treats time as capital. Capital deployed with intention creates surplus. Surplus buys better tools, better help, better rest. This is how your posture moves from holding on to handing off. When money is tight, generosity should still exist, but only inside the frame. You can add a small delight after delivery. A bonus note, a quick loom, a tiny polish. But you do it after scope is met, and only for people who respected the process. That is reputation building without turning yourself into a free vendor. The right kind of generosity strengthens structure. The wrong kind dissolves it. Choose the first every time. Your circle will change as you hold these lines. Some will call you cold because you stopped donating attention on demand. Some will call you expensive because you priced the chaos they used to offload for free. Good. You are not building a fan club. You are building a state. States need borders, roads, and schedules. When the borders are clear and the roads are maintained, good traffic arrives. Better clients, clearer partners, calmer days. If a week goes sideways, don't spiral. Do a 30-minute audit. Where did access leak? Where did price blur? Where did a reply window get ignored? Fix those 3 with a written correction, not a long apology. Then restart the cadence tomorrow. Systems beat moods. When your system survives a bad week, you stop fearing bad weeks. That confidence is the first wealth. There is a difference between having less and acting lesser. Acting lesser is a choice. It shows up in the words you use, the way you accept changes, the speed at which you reply, and the softness of your endings. The world reads these as instructions on how to treat you. If your instructions say, "Push me," you will be pushed. The solution is not louder talk or fake status. The solution is protocol you can repeat under stress. Scarce attention allocated by schedule. Scope that closes on paper. Prices that rise with access. And exits that lock with a handoff. You will be surprised how quickly respect appears when your behavior stops wobbling. Start with language. People who act poor use long sentences to buy mercy. People who act rich use short lines to buy clarity. Replace, "Sorry, I just wanted to check if maybe," with checking status, "We're on the Wednesday delivery." Replace, "I can do that, no worries, we'll figure it out," with, "That request is outside scope. I'll price it as a second block." Replace, "I was thinking we could hop on a quick call," with, "Book a slot. Live calls stay inside 30 minutes. Your voice becomes a boundary. You never threaten. You never whine. You declare and move. Next, build a corridor for requests so everything flows the same way. DMs are for quick updates. Email holds deliverables. The calendar holds calls. The shared folder holds files with dates. A board or simple list holds next steps. When someone tries to drag you sideways, scope in DMs, files, and voice notes, you route them back. Please drop it in the deliverables thread. This is what Protect Access looks like on Tuesday at 2 p.m. No anger, just routing. After 2 or 3 cycles, the channel hijacking stops because it never works. Machiavelli wrote about men who win power through their own arms and virtue, rather than through others' favor. He respected those who make order with their hands and then hold it. Those who become princes by their own prowess, acquire with difficulty, but keep with ease. That is your path. Acquire order the hard way now, keep it the easy way later. Do the heavy lift of system building once, reply windows, second block policy, late fee rule, handoff template, and you will not have to lift every day. Pricing shows your posture more than your pitch. When your number is low and your access is high, buyers see hunger. When your number matches the outcome and your access is tiered, buyers see design. Tie every extra to money and time. Add-on feature. Separate block. Earliest start? Next Thursday. Rate attached. Do not explain why you need to charge. Simply charge. If they want a discount, adjust scope, not dignity. If they want speed, name the rush rate. If they want you on weekends, price it like weekend surgery. Money is not your master. Money is the lever that keeps your calendar honest. Scarcity is not a costume. It is your calendar's reality. You cannot be everywhere, so you must decide where your best energy lands. That means fewer clients who fit, not more clients who drain. It means saying, "We're full this week. Next opening is Wednesday." It means pausing work on late invoices without drama. It means refusing urgent revisions that skip the queue, even if the story they tell is dramatic. You will hear that you're rigid. Let them say it. People trained to win by chaos always accuse structure of cruelty. You do not answer the accusation. You keep the structure. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I route everything through the system I wrote. There is a quiet way to gain leverage when your bank account is light. Show receipts, not narratives. After every delivery, post a 1-paragraph record to the thread. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next slot for extras. These receipts beat charisma and memory. They kill arguments before they start. They also signal to future partners that you are the person who documents instead of debates. Documentation is the poor person's armor and the rich person's habit. Wear it early. Bring corrections, not apologies.
If a meeting runs over, the next meeting ends 5 minutes early, and you say, "We'll keep calls inside the booked time." If a client keeps sending changes by voice note, you reply once, "Please put changes in the doc. Voice notes get missed." If a teammate delivers late twice, you move them off time-critical pieces and say, "You're on non-critical tasks until delivery returns to schedule." These are small but surgical moves. You do not punish with tone, you change the game with structure.
Machiavelli said that injuries should be inflicted all at once, so they are felt less and provoke less revenge, while benefits should be granted over time. In your work, that means the one-pass reset. If your scope has been leaking, your replies are 24/7, and your rates are old, do one decisive reset message instead of 10 small nags. Change the hours, the revision rule, the price floor, and the handoff template at the same time. It will be noisy for a week and quiet for a year. Weak leaders fear the week, strong leaders buy the year. Appearances matter more when you have less. You cannot afford chaos-framed calls, excuses, or sorry for the mess energy. Your frame, your sound, your posture, these are silent quotes. Tight shot, neutral light, clean background, steady tone. Speak like a person reading a decision already written, not like a person inventing one on the mic. People fund stability, they audit anxiety. You can feel panic inside. You must not broadcast it. Calm voice, hard terms. Build a small treasury even while cash is thin. A treasury is not only money, it's buffers. Buffer time, 2 protected build blocks daily. Buffer files, a ready-made proposal template, handoff note, and exit email. Buffer contacts, 1 backup vendor for each critical task. Buffer rules, a clear late fee, rush fee, and weekend policy. These buffers keep you from selling your boundary the moment pressure hits. Acting poor sells the boundary and regrets it. Acting rich uses the buffer and keeps the promise. Your circle will mirror your posture. If you train clients that you accept quick calls, they will live on your phone. If you train teammates that you rewrite their drafts at midnight, they will stop writing well. If you train friends that you are always available during work, your work will become pretend. The fastest way to upgrade the circle is not speeches about standards, it is consequences. Reward what you want. Remove access from what you do not. People will call it cold. It is actually warm to the future. Leave this affirmation below. I trade clarity for respect, not noise for attention. When pressure spikes, late pay, public blame, a messy handoff, do not defend yourself with a story. Move the situation into your channel. Payment outstanding, work pauses. Scope dispute, see the signed statement. Handoff late, new date is Friday. You are not there to win debates. You are there to run roads and borders so results can move. Roads and borders are boring, and that is exactly why they work. Boring wins in the long run. On growth, you do not scale by adding chaos. You scale by reducing friction. Standardize your offers to 2 or 3. Standardize your timeline labels. Standardize your correction lines. Standardization does not make you generic. It makes you legible. Legibility is a magnet for better partners. They see where to plug in and how to respect you. Then, when you add people or tools, you are not duct taping them to a moving train. You are inviting them onto a track with signals. Expect guilt trips. You've changed. We used to do it this way. It's just a small ask. Smile in words. We run it this way now. No anger, no paragraph. The more you explain, the more you invite debate. The more you repeat, the more you close it. If they push again, start the escalation ladder you already wrote. Reminder. Reduced access. Work paused. Clean exit. Ladders are merciful because everyone can see the steps. One more move. Protect your mornings from other people's metrics. Do not open the apps that grade your worth before you do the work that creates it. Build first, then read. If someone truly needs you before noon, they will call the emergency line you priced high. Most emergencies die when forced to pay. That is the test. Real urgency funds the problem. Fake urgency tries to borrow your life. If you keep these moves for 90 days, tight language, routed channels, priced extras, documented receipts, one-pass reset, buffers, and the latter, your state will feel different. Your calendar will carry more weight and less noise. Your voice will be slower and your decisions faster. You will still have days with little money. You will not have days where you act lesser. That is the Machiavellian difference. You are not waiting to be rescued. You are governing yourself first, and that is what the market quietly pays. Power is not loud. Power is routine. If you can turn your best day into your normal day, you stop acting poor even when cash is thin. The move now is to convert principles into systems that do the talking for you. A system answers before your emotions do. A system keeps your posture steady when someone presses for a discount, just one quick call, or a rush you didn't schedule. When protocol is clear, persuasion becomes unnecessary. You are not trying to convince, you are executing the map. Start with your intake. Acting poor says yes first, and discovers scope later. Acting rich filters early with a short questionnaire and a calendar link. 3 or 4 questions are enough. Outcome desired, deadline, decision maker, budget range. If answers are vague, you do not chase, you route. Please complete the form. I'll review inside my reply window. This small gate saves you from emotional pitches, endless backstory dumps, and idea fishing. It also signals that work with you is a process, not a vibe. Next, formalize your reply windows in public. Put your cadence in your email signature and onboarding packet. Example: messages answered at 12 SAU and 16 SAU. Calls Tuesdays and Thursdays. Urgent line available on premium tier only. When a ping arrives outside the window, you don't apologize for being late. You are on time by design. If someone writes, "Are you there?" you answer at noon with the work, not with guilt. This is how you stop looking like a freelancer pleading for forgiveness and start looking like a small firm that runs on rhythm. Corrections beat apologies. Again and always. If a meeting overruns, the next one closes at minute 28 with a crisp summary and the handoff line. If a client tries to stack just a small change into your DMs, you copy the request into the scope doc and price it as a second block. If a teammate sends deliverables without file names or dates, you return it once with the naming rule and enforce it the next time by pausing review. You are not scolding, you are shaping. People adjust to the level of structure you hold. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I enforce the map so the map protects me. Build a visible ledger for work in progress. 2 columns, committed and queued. Committed has what you owe this week with dates. Queued has approved extras with start dates and prices. Share a read-only link with clients or teammates. The ledger turns arguments into scheduling, not feelings. Someone says, "Can you squeeze it today?" You point to the ledger. Today is committed. Your extra begins Thursday. The tool removes theater. Once the theater dies, real planning begins. Machiavelli warned rulers not to be trapped by appearances alone, but he also insisted that appearances matter because people judge quickly. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. Your appearance, then, must signal order even on thin resources. Concise messages, clean folders, correct file names, punctual calls, and a calm face. You do not need shiny gear to look serious. You need repetition of basics. Show up the same way every time. and rooms will treat you as predictable and safe to fund. Pricing is policy. If your price changes with mood, you will feel poor even after a good month. Write a rate card that links price to access and speed. Standard tier. Async reviews, 2 revisions, replies in the window. Premium tier, weekly call, faster replies, limited off-hours escalation. Rush rate, plus 40% for guaranteed turnarounds under 48 hours. Weekend rate, plus some 60%, available by exception. Then behave as if the card is law. When someone pushes, you don't debate your worth. You point to policy. When cash is low, tighten your pipeline, not your dignity. A desperate discount invites a desperate client. A clear rate attracts a clear buyer. Scope creep is not a person's trait. It's a system failure. Solve it at the edges. Intake form limits. Proposal that lists included and not included. And a sentence that declares extras go to a second block at a later date and a higher price. During build, you keep a living change log, where every new request gets a date, a cost, and a scheduled slot. At handoff, you attach the change log to your delivery note. This paper trail makes you look like a governor, not a gopher. Governors send records. Gophers send emojis. Machiavelli also warned about flatterers and the danger of soft counsel. There is no other way of guarding oneself against flatterers except letting men understand that to tell you the truth does not offend you. Invite precise feedback inside your structure, not outside it. Ask for critiques in the doc during review windows, not in late-night voice notes. Reward the teammate who flags a risk early. Reduce access for the one who hides problems and shows up with a mess at the deadline. This keeps quality rising without turning your day into performance theater. Leave this affirmation below. Structure first, approval later. Use a one-pass reset when decay spreads. Signs of decay. You are answering at all hours. Extras are slipping in for free. Invoices are net never. Files are scattered. Don't fix one leak at a time. Recut the pipe. Send one message with new hours. Revision limits, late fee policy, file locations, and the effective date. Update your signature, templates, and ledger the same day. Then hold. The noise will be loud for a week and forgotten in a month. The order will last a year. Weak leaders optimize for the week. Strong leaders optimize for the year. Clean exits are a brand. They say you finish what you start, and you do not linger where you're no longer needed. Every delivery should end with 5 lines. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next, when the archive happens, how to start the next block. If a client returns with one more tweak, you link the exit note and the change log. If they ghost, you archive on the date you named. If they praise you, you still archive on time. Fame is random. The archive is respect. Protect access like you protect cash. If you hand your best hours to chat, your account will feel empty even after you bill. Put your highest cognition work in your strictest block. No notifications, no calls, and no quick peeks. Put admin in the low-energy slot. Announce to yourself, not the world, that mornings are sacred. If the world wants your morning, it can pay the rush rate. Most urgent asks die when a price appears. That is not cruelty. That is triage. On reputation, stop trying to be universally liked. Be universally legible. Legibility beats charm. People want to know how to use you. When you answer, what you deliver, what costs extra, and how you end. Put those 4 on your site, in your proposal, and in your welcome email. Repeat them in your behavior, not in speeches. Once your pattern is obvious, good partners self-select and bad fits leave before they waste your time. When conflict hits, and it will, switch from narrative to ledger. Narrative is who felt what. Ledger is who did what and when. Pull up the scope, the change log, the ledger view, and the exit note. Decide in one paragraph. This is out of scope. Next block opens Friday. Pricing attached. If the other side attacks tone, you stay with terms. If they escalate, you move up your ladder. Reminder, reduced access. Pause, clean exit. The ladder is mercy because it is predictable. Mercy in I. Public systems is clarity, not indulgence. Remember why you are doing this. Acting rich when you have little is not cosplay. It is the discipline that gets you out of scarcity. You are trading short-term ease for long-term freedom. You are trading flattery for funds, noise for notes, panic for a plan. Hold the frame when it's least convenient, and the world will meet you where your structure lives. Strength becomes wealth when it repeats without your mood. That's the end game. A posture that prints respect on schedule. You are not waiting to feel confident. You are practicing confidence as a system. When the system runs, reply windows, one-pass resets, tiered access, priced extras, clean exits, you stop acting poor even if your account is thin today. The market reads your pattern and pays for it. Start with consolidation. You've set rules. Now you make them effortless. Put your reply windows into an autoresponder that states hours, escalation path, and the line for premium access. Build templates for proposals, change logs, and exit notes so you can ship decisions in minutes, not hours. Create a rate card with 3 tiers and keep it in a pinned note. When you reduce friction in enforcement, boundaries stop feeling like fights and start feeling like logistics. Logistics are quiet power. Then, measure. People who act poor measure feelings. People who act rich measure facts. Track 3 numbers weekly. Promises made, promises kept, promises rescheduled by written agreement. Add 2 money signals, hours protected for building, and percent of extras billed in second blocks. If those 5 numbers are strong, your returns will rise even before your prices do. If one dips, you don't write an essay. You correct with one move. Shorter scope, slower intake, or reduced access. Corrections beat apologies because corrections change the forecast. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are." Appearances are the interface. Your appearance is not luxury. It is legibility. Exact file names with dates. One link that always holds the latest version. A call that starts on time and ends on time. A face that does not mirror panic. When people see order, they invest because order reduces risk. You do not need a large set to signal this. You need the same set, tight, every time. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I turn boundaries into a rhythm the world can trust. Affirmation. Now bake the 5 boundary moves into your week so they run without force. Lead with outcomes by starting every scope with a 1-sentence promise and a date stamp. Use the one-pass reset quarterly. Review hours, pricing, revision limits, and the archive timeline. Change all at once if needed. Route all extras to a second block by default. No quick favors, only scheduled work. Protect access by separating channels. DMs for updates, docs for edits, calendar for calls. End everything with a clean exit note so your past doesn't spill into your future. These are not tips. They are rails. Rails carry weight. When cash gets tempting, remember, discounting access is more expensive than discounting price. Never sell your mornings for free. Never sell unlimited calls for free. If you must offer a deal, reduce scope, not standards. For example, keep your reply windows intact but trim features. Keep your revision limits intact but offer a smaller deliverable. A buyer who only accepts you when you're bent will break you later. A buyer who accepts your frame will fund you later. You also need a calm escalation ladder for people who ignore structure. Step 1. Written reminder with the exact line they crossed. Step 2. Reduce access in writing. Fewer calls, slower response, or async only. Step 3. Pause work until alignment returns. Step 4. Clean exit with what shipped, where it lives, and who owns next. No insults, no essays, just steps. Ladders make you merciful because they replace moods with process. People know where they stand, and you save your breath. Machiavelli warned about being hated and despised. A prince must avoid those things which will make him hated or despised. Your version is simple. Do not be sloppy, despised, or cruel, hated. Be exact. Be firm. Deliver on time. Enforce without contempt. When you must cut like a surgeon. Quick. Documented and necessary. That keeps your name clean in rooms you never enter. Leave this affirmation below. Calm voice, hard terms, receipts on a date. Affirmation. Scale your posture before you scale your head count. If you add people to chaos, you scale chaos. If you add people to rails, you scale reliability. Standardize how your team names files, updates change logs, and closes projects. Tie small rewards to discipline. Early previews for clients who respect windows. Priority slots for teammates who hit handoffs. Small bonuses for flawless files. Treat your space like a small state. Citizens feel safe because rules are boring and benefits are real. Protect your personal runway. Acting poor often starts with burnout. Create buffers that buy you judgment under pressure. A day each month with no calls, a weekly hour to reprice and resequence, and a fixed archive cadence so old work stops haunting new work. When fear spikes, you will be tempted to break the frame for a quick check. Don't. Fear loves chaos. Money follows calendars. Keep your language sharp and short across every channel. Replace, "I'm sorry this is taking so long, I'm trying," with delivery. Friday 16i, change log updated. Replace, "I'd love to help, but I'm swamped, with next opening is Wednesday, book here." Replace, "We can include that for free, with that's in the next block, estimate attached." The words are the ritual. The ritual keeps your posture high when your feelings are low. If somebody accuses you of being cold, accept the frame you wrote. "I'm clear." That's the rule that protects delivery. You don't defend your personality. You defend the outcome. People who benefit from your old softness will try to make this personal. Don't enter that arena. Stay procedural. In the long run, even critics respect people who keep their word. Reliability is a quiet magnet. When a project finishes, close the loop in 5 lines and disappear. What shipped, where it lives, who owns next, archive date, path to the next paid block. Do this even after praise. Do this especially after praise. Warmth does not replace the exit. Warmth decorates it. Your future is protected by your archive, not by compliments. There will be seasons of thinness. You are not pretending you're rich. You are practicing the behaviors that make richness possible. Choose the harder, shorter path now. Structure over speed, receipts over hype, prices over promises, and you will feel the pressure fall from your calendar, even before it falls from your bank app. You will stop negotiating your identity with people who never paid you. You will start negotiating timelines with people who do. Remember the picture. A small state, clean roads, firm borders, clear schedules. Inside, you do your best work. At the borders, you decide who enters, when, and at what cost. Outside, the noise keeps talking. You do not argue with it. You build, deliver, document, and archive. That is how a person with little stops acting lesser. That is how scarcity turns into surplus. first in time, then in money, and finally in reputation.